Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where I talk over a game, in this case Stardew Valley, still, because I like it. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about some of these videos that I see popping up every once in a while. Having figured out that I'm neurodivergent, of course I see quite a few videos in my For Me, I guess, feed on YouTube that are all about autism and stuff like that, and ADHD and AuDHD, and usually there will be at least a couple of them among them that'll be like, these are the 10 best jobs for people with autism or something along those lines, and then list a couple of professions which I think would match, I guess, these stereotypical qualities that people with autism would have, like detail-oriented type of stuff, being good with numbers and patterns and stuff like that, or whatever they think would constitute as a stereotypically autistic skill set. Well, I appreciate the effort for people to dig into the job market and see what job would fit those with neurodivergency, because we do tend to have issues in job markets, maybe not even the market itself, but in jobs in general. It gives off a kind of a vibe of the only thing wrong with you is that you just haven't found the right job type of vibe. And I know that's not the intention. That's kind of how it comes across to me as well. As well as that, the fact that there is just no perfect job for most people. Most people will find a job that they tolerate, and then they just kind of stick with that, and maybe they'll go to a similar job later with a slightly better pay or something along those lines, or they just stick with that job and they do okay, and they have enough money left at the end of the month to do the fun things that they want to do. That's kind of like the average ideal situation. Not just get by, but have enough money to do other things other than pay the bills. So even for somebody who would be considered neurotypical, finding the perfect job may be a bit of a fool's errand. And with people on the spectrum, there's even another hurdle there. Say that you did find the perfect job, like maybe you've always wanted to be an accountant, like you're really good with numbers, you can balance books like crazy, and you can figure out what the problem is and fix it and whatnot, keep all the creditors and debtors in check. And you find a job opening somewhere, and then there's the interview, and maybe there's another interview, maybe there's a test that you have to take. We're notoriously bad at interviewing because people tend to, I guess, sense that there's something different about you. And with the job market being quite tight in certain locations as it is, that's already a setback. But say that you go through those interview processes just fine. Okay, then you got your office work. And then you got to work with other people. The vast majority are probably also going to be neurotypical. And even though you've got your perfect job, you still have the whole HR thing and the social stuff at work thing, your job reviews and things like that. People just wanting you to do certain things, react certain ways that are just not natural for you. And I think somebody who would have watched one of those videos and figured out after watching a couple of those videos, like, oh, this is really what I want to do, they might end up feeling very disappointed at that point when they've actually got the job and they find that it's actually not what they thought it was, because they may then think that they failed, like they're the ones who did it wrong because obviously that was the right job for them, or maybe they just didn't go through the process correctly. Those videos can't be wrong. There has to be the right job out there for me. That can be an annoying setback to have to go through, and once again, more self-doubt to go with that. I think one of the only ways to get out of that cycle would be to employ yourself, but that's a really big step, and it may not be achievable for a lot of people, particularly those on the spectrum, because that requires all sorts of other things that they may not be good at. Say that somebody is a really good woodworker, for instance. Okay, great. So they spent all day making amazing furniture, other wooden objects, things that people want, like to their specifications. Great. But somebody needs to handle the financial part. Somebody needs to handle the website. Somebody needs to handle administration. And we've got a couple people handling those things. You also need to handle having personnel and stuff like that. Also not things that everybody is great at. I guess what I'm just saying is that there's always going to be something about a job that you don't like. And with people on the spectrum, there's going to be the spectrum part that's also going to work against them, obviously. And I understand the temptation to want a simple answer by going to one of those videos and look at all the different suggestions and go, oh, I think I need this one. And if you, at the end of that route, find that you're still disappointed, at least know that it's not because of you. It's just the way things are. It's just something we're going to have to deal with. And there may be people out there who have found the perfect job. I'm sure they exist, like a place, like for instance with the woodworker. Maybe they found a workshop which has a very nice boss who knows exactly what their limitations are and therefore takes all the other stuff out of their hands and just says, you know what, you're going to work on this job, and then you're going to work on that job for that customer, and then you work on this job, etc., etc. So all they really have to do is focus on the thing that they're good at. I really just wish that there were more workplaces like that, like not just like shop things, but also office things, like where you have a boss that really just gets you, understands your limits, and then makes those accommodations in a way that works for everybody. Now, the combination accommodations and workplace is a bit tricky, particularly these days. They don't really like to do that. A lot of people don't like to bring it up. But maybe in the future, when people are a little bit more understanding and a little bit more educated on what neurodivergency actually means, we can have more of that. Like when people stop saying, well, you don't look like my 4-year-old nephew, and understand that being on a spectrum isn't just one way of like showing up. There's like many different people on the spectrum, many different types of support needs. Some are high, some are low, others are very subtle, etc. And once the general population understands that a little better, we can maybe work on more accommodations. Until that time, just realize that you're not really doing it wrong. It's just that the deck is kind of stacked against you. But, you know, life's not fair. There are things that are happening for other people that are not on the spectrum that also makes their life difficult. So it's not like we're the only ones who have issues. Just telling you that you need to pay attention, I guess, and mind what your issues are and what the effects could be. And that there is very unlikely a perfect job out there for you, but you can get pretty close. So do what you can to get as close as you can. Meanwhile, I'd like to hear more from you. How do you experience the job market? How do you experience work in general? Have you ever gone looking at some of these videos? Have you found a job that you consider to be the perfect job for you, and how's that working out? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.